What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Final Whistle podcast. Nate, second week in a row, we're starting to get back on our little streak.
Yeah, we getting back to it, trying to get back on a program here. Hopefully we can continue doing it this way, but we'll just keep seeing how our schedules work out.
Yeah.
With how we do this. But Joe, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I had a little bit of a sickness bug, but kind of on the downward trend of that now. There's a lot of stuff out there, so.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Everything's going around.
Yeah, but I'm feeling better now, back at it. Got to watch some good games this weekend. So, yeah. How about you?
Just kind of watch sports, kind of a low-key weekend, really. There's plenty of good sports on this weekend, and we'll talk about some of them here, and it's always nice to have a weekend where you can just kind of be laid back instead of doing something.
Yeah, it was nice kind of having just kind of a lazy weekend, I would call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Saturday, we watched the Iowa State men's basketball team back in action again.
We did.
And it was not a fun thing to watch.
No, there was not much action.
Iowa State loses at Cincinnati. We were ranked number 2 in the country. We fall at Cincinnati. And it just looked like a hangover from Kansas. Like the guys just had no fire, no anything.
Yeah, I don't even really want to talk about Kansas. That was just that was disappointing.
Which we said in last week's pod, if you let Kansas's fans get into it and you let them get on a roll, that's when Fog Allen is almost impossible to win in. And we saw that last week, and that's exactly how that went. So Kansas is always a tough environment, but no excuses on Saturday. And they go into Cincinnati and they lay an egg. And, they kind of got some adversity. And I think it's a good thing because it's early January and your team's hitting some adversity. I would rather hit it now than in March. I would rather hit March 1st is a really bad time to start being on your descent.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like usually with TJ's teams this happens, and it's usually in January. We usually hit some sort of wall, and TJ's good teams have bounced back out of it. They came back out of it. They made Sweet 16s and everything else. We've only really seen it once where really the team didn't come out of it, but I really don't know how good they were. That was kind of the year we got beat in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And then last year's team was kind of an outlier with all the injuries.
Yeah.
I still feel like. And hopefully that does not get this team. It hasn't to this point yet, although I do think there's something going on with Taman at this point, which he's never really 100% healthy anyway. I think it's been maybe his freshman year since he's been 100% healthy. And so you kind of know that coming in, but just watching him play, it feels like he's really trying to push things, just kind of rush and everything, just kind of very untamed-like. And I wonder if something's bothering him there. They haven't said anything, but it just speculation. But Cincinnati, there was no no excuses in that game, and we just came out flat-footed.
Yeah.
And almost kind of like we went in that game to say we were going to win and not really have to play that good.
And they caught us off guard real quick.
Yeah, and Cincinnati just, again, kind of had one of those shooting days. They had some guys I think that one guy is 1 of 24, before that game, and then he was 2 of 24 from threes in that game. Of course that's going to happen to Iowa State.
Yeah.
They're guys that literally cannot shoot threes are going to hit threes against us.
Yeah, it was. They were making damn near everything they were taking. The only reason we had even somewhat of a comeback in that game was because of Momcilovic. I mean, he was just, you could not stop him in that fourth quarter with just nailing threes.
Yeah, he kind of found his groove, and he has the last couple of games. And Kansas, he played okay, but Kansas was just bad. I still do think that nobody was going to beat Kansas that night in the country.
I don't think so either.
I don't care if it would have been Arizona, Houston, Purdue. I think that night nobody was beating Kansas. I mean, they just completely shot the lights out of that building and left no doubt at all on that court. and Iowa State just happened to be the team that night, and that's why I was nervous at that point, because you just were ranked number 2. Kansas just lost 2 in a row, and now you have to go to Fog Allen. That's not a good combination. Like, the perfect storm was setting up there, and it happened, and I was worried about that. Should Iowa State win that game? Yes, but you got to understand at where you're playing at too, and that is a big factor in that game. But yeah, I mean, there was some panic starting to ensue after those 2 games, and what's going on, what's wrong. Well, last night Iowa State beats UCF by 30. I think we all seen that there really isn't anything wrong. It was more just, I think, a really big game in Kansas that they were not ready for.
Yeah.
And then the Cincinnati game, I think it's just a hangover from that game, which I understand. To be the number 2 team in the country, you can't have hangovers. That's not an excuse. I just think that that's more or less what that was. And last night they got back to looking like a top 5 team in the country.
I agree. They looked a lot better. I noticed we came out with a lot more of an aggressive start than we have so far this season, especially against Big 12 teams. And that's something I know we've talked about when we were watching the games, is we need to get off to better starts.
Yeah, and TJ recognizes it too. TJ has talked about it.
Instead of, because usually slow start first half, usually either we're only leading by maybe 2 or 4, or we're down by, 4, 6, whatever. And then after half, we just come out guns blazing. But UCF, we came out guns blazing right away.
Yeah. Which
is what I really liked. I liked our hustle. I liked, the ball was moving everywhere. Everyone was getting involved. And I just like the way we were playing, and I hope we can continue that moving forward.
I think that's the best they've looked last night since, like, the Purdue game, since the Vegas tournament. Like, even Iowa, like, we won that game, but it was not good. No. Like, they did not look like they should. And I'm glad to see that team still exists, that is still there. I think that's what most people were worried about, is what's happening. Will they play like this again, ever? And last night they showed you, yes, they can. And I think there's some factors in with that. The big one to me, it starts with Killian Torre. Non-conference, and everything. That guy was a scoring machine. He was looking to attack the basket. He was looking for spots to shoot. And he's not a great shooter, but, he was at least hunting shots.
Yeah.
And playing an elite-level defense. And was what got him talked about so much early on in the season as far as NBA goes, just in everything, being one of the top freshmen in the country. And these last 2 weeks, that's really went away. Like, we haven't seen that. He's not looking to attack the basket. He's not looking to shoot. His defense is ever so slightly starting to come down. Really, since that Oklahoma State game, it's just starting to come down. And, still a good defender, but maybe not the elite type defender he was earlier on in the season. And last night, I was really glad to see him kind of snap back out of that. I really do think it's kind of a freshman
funk.
Yeah. I think he's just kind of in that freshman phase where – and teams are going to start scouting him better, and we knew that. But he's too good of a player to not come out of it. And last night he did come out of it. He was attacking the basket. I think he hit 2 threes last night.
He did,
and he was playing really good defense. I mean, he was getting steals. He was rebounding. He was kind of everything. And, that's what we need from him. That's what makes this Iowa State team go from a 15 to 20th ranked team in the country to a top 5 team in the country.
Yeah.
Is when he is doing things like that. Everybody this year had expectations Iowa State's just going to be okay. And then it was, wow, this Iowa State team could compete for a national title. Well, that starts with him. He is the reason that was being talked about. And then these last 2 weeks, you see him not doing that, and that's why people start to panic, What is this team going to be like? And so it was really good to see that out of him. Blake Buchanan's also been another one the last couple, really about 3-4 weeks now. That's just been a non-factor. Just like getting out physical down low, and which is surprising because he comes from Virginia. And playing in the ACC, he's had to play physical bigs before. He's had to be, He's played guys with his, level of physicality, and he's just not showing it right now. I understand the Big 12 is one of the best leagues in the conference, but, he's gone up against guys like this before, and just really out of his groove. And we've seen him do it. I mean, he did against Purdue. He did it in Vegas. Like, he has played really good at times. And last night he was able to get back. He had a dunk last night. One of them at least, maybe two.
I think he had a couple.
Yeah. Rebounding. He was back to rebounding. Like, he was back to being physical last night in the paint, and against someone who's 7'4".
Yeah.
So, that was really good to see him kind of get back out there and, like, do his thing. Like, don't let him push you around in the paint. Get back to playing your basketball.
And I think the team as a whole, just last night, was playing much more aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, like, they were going for rebounds. They were showing hustle. And I just feel like we weren't showing that. Even in the Oklahoma State win that we had, I feel like we weren't showing that. I feel like we could have won by way more against Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
But I think also, too, is, when you go 14, 15, 16-0, I feel like at a point you get comfortable. And when we went to Kansas, we lost our comfort, and that's what slowly started that downward spiral. But then I think now, it was after two game road trip, you come back and you're at home and you need a win, bounce back against, and UCF's not a bad team.
No, I would say they're probably a better team than Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and we blow them out by 30.
Yeah.
And that just shows, and UCF just gave Arizona some problems.
Yep.
Not too long ago. So I think just if we can keep this level of play against especially our tougher opponents, because we got a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah,
we need that type of play.
This is the easiest part of the schedule.
Yeah.
Like, the hardest part of the schedule is still coming.
Yeah.
And you can have one bad loss a year. I think that you're granted to have one bad loss. About every team in the country will have one that they wish they could have back. But it's just we've burned that one already. We already used that against Cincinnati, and so now you can't lose another bad one the rest of the year, and that puts a lot of pressure on a team. Now, you can lose a good game, okay? Like, if we lose at BYU, lose at Arizona, I would say that those are losses that you can live with. But we can't go on Saturday and lose to Oklahoma State. That can't happen. We've already used up our one bad loss for the year. And it'll be interesting. This team gets to come home. They do that, get some confidence back, and now it's right back out on the road. And we've seen them win on the road. I mean, they did it basically Vegas. You're on the road. I mean, I get it's a more neutral court thing. But then we watched them, beat Purdue by 25 on their own floor.
Yeah.
So this team can win. Like, they can travel.
Especially, yeah.
It's just I think the Kansas game was, like I said, I don't think anybody was beating that night in the country. And then just the way we got beat so bad, I think the Cincinnati game was more of a hangover thing than anything. But I do tell you what, too, is getting the students back last night helps a lot. Like, it helps a lot more than what someone would think. And the students, are always really good at, bringing the energy right away.
Yeah.
Getting the fans into it right away. And, being a part of the basketball game, not just watching the basketball game. That's what the student section's really good at. And, right at the tip-off, not when we're playing on a run or anything, but right from the tip-off, they're loud, they're going. That really helps pick a team up. And Iowa State really needed that, and they got it last night. And so I still think that this team has to defend home court. I think that's the goal every year is you can't lose at home. You can't lose at Hilton.
Yeah.
And last year that happened a few times. We got beat, I think, twice last year at Hilton. So, and we're going to have some good teams coming into Hilton. We're going to have Texas Tech coming into Hilton. We're going to have Kansas again coming into Hilton. We're going to have Houston coming into Hilton. So, if you can go undefeated at home, you're going to pick up some really good wins. I think they're going to be fine. Last night showed a lot that that team is still in there. That number 2 ranked team in the country still exists.
Yeah. And obviously, I know that level of play is very hard to keep up. Obviously, there's a lot more games in basketball than football. You don't want to get burnt out. But I think just it makes me feel better knowing that we still have that in us, that level of play in us. And I think that hopefully, I'm not saying we won't lose another game this season.
We're definitely going to lose another game this season.
But I'm not saying we will or won't, but you have to feel good about what you saw last night.
Yeah. And everything's still out there for this team. A 1 seed's going to be a lot tougher to get now, but it's still out there. And the nice thing is we're in the middle of January. It's not March 1st.
Oh, there's still plenty of games left.
And Iowa State really has a chance to go on a winning streak here. The next 4 or 5 games are very winnable. And starting with the game last night, so we got a chance here to go on another 5-6 game run here. And
we could get back into the top 5.
Yeah, we can get that that conference back up. That conference win back up to like an 8-2 and 7-2. So I think we have good chances to do that, and they just got to take advantage of it. I think they will. Last night looked really good, but I don't really have anything else to add on the men's side. I have had a few people ask me about what's going on with this Iowa State women's team. And what's going on with the Iowa State women's team is Addie Brown is out. And not having Addie Brown is really hurting the Iowa State women's team, as everybody can see. I think Addie Brown was a lot more important to that team than what people realized. Everything kind of ran through her, and then we also lost Ariana Jackson. So we have 2 starters out. And I have people ask me all the time, and I think it's going to get ugly. I do. I think this thing has a chance to get pretty ugly.
I think so too. And also, Audie Crooks is not 100% healthy either. I don't know if it's her knee or what's going on with her, but she's not healthy either. So that team's just slowly depreciating.
Yeah, and they haven't really said a whole lot with Addie Brown. It started off like 6 to 8 weeks. Now some people are saying it's for the season. I don't really think anybody has a for sure answer on that, but you just hope to get her back in time to still even make the tournament. I mean, they play Cincinnati tonight, and it's at Hilton, and it's with the students back. So I'm really hoping the students show up to that game tonight and help lift that women's team up, because they need it really bad.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they need it a lot worse than the men's team.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them, because they were top, 10, and now we're talking about they might not even make the tournament. And it's really unfortunate. It just shows you what, an injury can do to a season. And it's just their confidence too. They've lost all confidence. Yeah. They have no confidence. I had heard a few people watch the Oklahoma State game this weekend, and they said that's probably the saddest thing they've ever watched. We have nothing. No confidence, no anything. Nobody wants to shoot the ball. Nobody wants to rebound the ball. They're not having fun. They don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And hopefully the students can help fix that tonight. Hopefully they can get back in front of a more electric Hilton than it usually is for the women's games, and hopefully they can lift them up. But I just wanted to touch on that quick. I do think this has a chance to get ugly. I really do. But we'll see how they do. I wish them the best of luck, and I hope they continue to try to get out of the funk that they are in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You tried to blame this whole mess on me.
Well, it is kind of your fault too.
Well,
Joe, you went to the first game ever at Hilton, and that is the start of their 5-game losing streak.
Yeah,
you cursed them.
It was also Maddie's first time as well, so you can't just blame me.
Well, one of you guys cursed them.
Well, she is a woman, and it's the women's team, so.
Well, one of you guys did something to them.
Maybe it was you, Nate.
No, because I went to the Iowa State women's game, and they won that game.
Well, who knows? So, I didn't even know I was going to that.
I'm their good luck.
I didn't even know I was going to that game until the day before.
Oh, well.
So, not my fault.
Well, I think you have something to do with it. I think you should take partial responsibility.
Okay, I'll take like a 64th of the responsibility.
Hey, you're still taking responsibility. So, yeah, that's kind of all I have for basketball for right now.
Yeah.
The basketball thing, I mean, it's going to keep changing so much every week. So we'll kind of try to keep it, last game, this game, next game basis, talking about stuff
not looking
like that.
super far head into the season.
Yeah, not super far back either. Like, even the Kansas game at this point, it's just the basketball season moves so fast with 2 games every week.
Well, and since the last pod, I mean, we've had 3 games since the last pod.
Yeah.
Until the next pod, there'll only be 1 game. So.
Yeah, and so it just the basketball season moves fast, so we won't go into depth on past games too much. We'll probably talk about the game that they just had or the game that's just coming up for the most part. So.
Yep. So let's start getting into some football.
Yeah, so Iowa State's football schedule was released today.
It was.
And I have them at 6-6, 7-5. That's where I kind of got them landing. There's a few things to see in that schedule. For starters, we opened Big 12 play against Utah. That is not a good roll of the dice. Jimmy Rogers' first Big 12 game is going to be against Utah. I know they don't have their coach, but they're still a really good team.
Yeah.
That team's still pretty good. And so that'll be interesting. The 2 non-cons besides Iowa, you have to win those. And Iowa, I don't know. I mean, he kind of added fuel to the fire when he said, "Let's beat the Hawks" at the halftime game of the Iowa State game. So I think Iowa's going to come in with a chip on their shoulder on that one. But hey, you never know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just the way the road games lay out, it's going to be really tough for this Iowa State team to get a road win. I see us only getting 1, and it's at UCF, just because I don't think UCF is that good. And, I don't know. I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope we're 11-0 going to the college football playoff, and we're looking for a new coach next year again. But I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. But
lose Jimmy Rogers to Penn State.
yeah. But I do think that this team has a good chance to be at least a bowl eligible team.
I think so too, and I mean we've been getting a lot of commits and a lot of transfers coming in, and I think our team's starting to come together. Obviously, we won't see how they play until the first game, but I'm excited for the season to start, and yeah, you just can't really say much else other than that, really.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. We won't know much till the spring, and even then, I mean, maybe we'll get a little bit, but mostly not going to be till next fall. The nice thing is Jimmy Rogers is going to start doing more media stuff now that the portal is coming to an end. So we'll kind of get to hear more from Jimmy Rogers, maybe about some of these guys that are, that he's bringing in on this team, and just kind of get to know him a little bit more, because we haven't really heard from him since, his opening press conference, and understandably so. He's trying to put a whole football team together, so he hasn't had much time to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But now that that's all kind of coming to an end here over the next couple of weeks, I know he's going to be doing more media outlet things. So we'll kind of get to hear some more from Jimmy Rogers and maybe pick up a few things here and there from him in the next couple of weeks. But
absolutely.
That's about all we have for Iowa State football. It was a good weekend in the NFL, and I was really pulling for the Bills to win that game. They should have won that game. When Josh Allen says that game was his fault, he's 100% correct. That was his fault. It just couldn't get it done. And I am on record last week in the pod saying if they lose that game, they are going to fire their head coach. I said I think that seat's a lot hotter than what people realize it is.
And the day after,
and he got fired. The day after, Sean McDermott got fired. Right or wrong, any way you feel about it, he is out. I feel like you have a pretty good argument either way, saying that it was the right thing to do, saying it was the wrong thing to do. Just Josh Allen, man, Mahomes is out and still can't make it.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, they're both out, and you have a clear shot. You're the most experienced quarterback. and still couldn't get it done. I get it. The Broncos defense is elite. I mean, they still managed to put up 30 points against it. I just think it was just a bad luck situation in that overtime period. It's also really unfortunate that Bo Nix fractured his ankle.
Yeah, that's even the more
second to last play.
News.
Yeah,
I feel really bad for Broncos fans because their hopes of making the Super Bowl have decreased.
Yeah,
extremely. They're going to have to really ride on that defense.
Yeah,
to stop New England.
Absolutely.
Problem is New England's defense is really good too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and I never even heard of the Broncos backup quarterback until now. So
yeah,
we'll see how he plays. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, it really sucks for Josh Allen because you want to see the guy win, and I think there's really no excuses. And I think the biggest thing this year, and you can see it all season, was they really struggled. Josh Allen really struggled in general. I feel like he wasn't under as great of protection as he has been in the past couple of years. I also feel like, there's been some key injuries. I feel like some players haven't been playing up to their full potential. Obviously, they have James Cook, who's awesome. Dalton Kincaid's been out for damn near half the season, off and on. Keon Coleman has not been what he was hyped up to be. And Khalil Shakir, I mean, the last few games, especially in the playoffs, he's been coming alive, but throughout the season, he's not done much. So I think, yes, you can put some blame on Josh Allen, because at the end of the day, he did have, 3 fumbles and a interception.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, those are his mistakes. He has to own up to those, and he did. And I feel sorry for the guy, but I think he needs some help, and I don't know what the organization plans on doing to find him that help, but I think the biggest thing he needs is a for sure weapon in his wide receivers. I think he needs a for sure, number one, this is my guy, I'm going to throw to this guy. And
well, he had that with Stephon Diggs.
He did.
When Stephon Diggs was really good. And
but he's not there anymore. And Stephon Diggs is not what he used to be.
No, I get it, but I mean, Josh Allen had that at one point too, and still wasn't making the Super Bowl. I mean, that's when they lost in overtime to the Chiefs twice. So at some point, this has got to be blamed on Josh Allen at some point too.
Well, I think
and maybe a new coach is what they need. Maybe they need a new coach. I know why. I get why they did it. I mean, he can't win in the playoffs. He can't. And
I think he's under a lot of pressure too, especially with this drive. A lot of people say he's not because there was no Mahomes, there was no Lamar, but I think that put him under more pressure.
Because now they felt like they had to make it.
Yeah, now everyone thought they were a for sure lock to make it. But he didn't. He fell short. He put up a really good fight, but at the end of the day, it was just silly mistakes, and it just cost him it. Not saying they could never make it back to a Super Bowl. He's still fairly young. He still has some good years, but
I do think they're going to change some stuff. I think the new coach is going to come in.
I think they're going to rebuild a little bit.
I think, a mini rebuild. I don't think it's going to get drastic. No. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs next year, any of that. But I do think there's going to be some things done there differently.
Absolutely.
But the other thing I would say is not having weapons is kryptonite. Patrick Mahomes never has had weapons either. And Mahomes has found a way to get it done. They've always said with Mahomes, he's got to have another receiver. He's got to have somebody to throw the ball to.
Yeah, but he's had Tyreek Hill. He's had Travis Kelce.
Well, I get it.
He's had
Kelce basically. That's about it.
Well, yeah.
Tyreek Hill the first year or two. But basically he's had Kelce. But really never really had a running back that is, of James Cook's type.
No.
Of his level. Never a wide receiver, really, of Stephon Diggs' level, besides the first 2 years with Tyreek. He's just basically had a tight end. It's been him and Travis. and Mahomes is still finding a way to get it done, and without the turnovers and everything else in the playoffs. And so that's where I think some of this has got to come back on Josh. He's got to fix some of his stuff. I mean, he's got to get better. I understand he might throw 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but how about you throw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, like Mahomes does, in the games that he wins? I think he's got some stuff that he's still in year whatever is trying. He's got to work on yet and get better at it. You can have the really good wide receivers out there. They don't matter if you're throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
You can have the really good running backs and really good receivers. It doesn't matter if you're fumbling the ball.
Well, we were watching that game when he was scrambling. He was just times where there was one point where a fumble. He just kind of just was running and just kind of like threw it behind him for some reason.
Yeah. I like Josh Allen a lot. I think he's a really good guy. I cheer for that guy a lot, but he's got some stuff he needs to fix himself.
Yeah.
And until he does that, I think they're going to find themselves in the same situation. Doesn't matter if he's got the good receivers and the good running backs or not, because at the end of the day, he is the one turning the ball over.
That's true.
So,
there was also a couple of. I think James Cook had a couple of fumbles too. It was just a big turnover night for the Bills, and that's what kind of killed them.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm interested to see what they get for a new coach. It's rumored right now it's Dable, which would make sense. He's their old OC. Obviously, things didn't work out with him in New York, so I'm not sure if that's really the route they want to go. But I guess if that's the route they're going to go, that's the route they're going to go. And we'll see what he can do once he's back with Josh Allen again.
Yeah, we'll see what that decision is.
Yeah. A game we're not going to touch on, really at all on, but wasn't a game at all. 49ers Seahawks. I thought the 49ers could put up a better fight than they did. They did not. The injuries finally have caught up with that team. They're out of the playoffs. The Rams-Bears was the best game of the weekend.
It was.
I mean, that's probably the best game, really, I think, of this whole playoff so far. That game was just incredible.
I cannot believe he made that throw.
Yeah, that throw he made running 15 yards backwards and then a jump pass to the corner of the end zone is insane.
Maddie and I were laying in bed watching that game, and he made that throw. I said, no way.
Yeah.
Because I was astounded, and for some reason, Maddie wasn't she didn't find that all that exciting.
That was that cool.
She got scared. She was like, oh, what's going on? I told her, and I said, look up at the screen. And she's like, he threw the ball. Isn't that what he's supposed to do? I said, did you not see that?
Yeah, that was insane. That was a really good play by him. He's a really unique talent. I think that him and Ben Johnson together are only going to get more dangerous as the year goes on.
Yeah. And that was the
years go on.
That was the biggest thing. And that's a key thing of coaching matters. Ben Johnson turned that program around.
Yeah, and turned him around.
Yeah.
Like Caleb Williams.
He made Caleb Williams look like a complete bust to a potentially, I'll say, MVP level quarterback.
Yeah. I think those two, as the years continue to go on, they're going to get more dangerous. But I still stand by what I say. I still trust the veteran in the whole group now. And Matthew Stafford, he's really hard to beat. And the Rams in general are just really hard to beat. When you got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, and Matthew Stafford, that's a really hard.
Yeah.
That's a really hard combo to get around right there. I am looking forward to the Seahawks-Rams game. I honestly, to tell you the truth, couldn't really care less about the Broncos-Patriots game.
Me neither.
I think either team from the NFC beats either one of those two teams.
I think whoever makes it out of the NFC is going to win.
Yeah, I think Seahawks or Rams, whichever one of them makes it to the Super Bowl, I'll take them to win the Super Bowl. But I really hope it's the Rams. I hope it ends for Matthew Stafford this way, where he wins Super Bowl MVP, and then he decides to call it a career, retires. That would be a really good way for him to go out. I'm pulling for the Rams in this next game. That game should be really good. That Seahawks-Rams game that's Sunday night. Thank God it's not Sunday afternoon.
God.
They put it to the Sunday night game.
They were smart this time.
Yeah, that's the 5:30 game on Sunday. That game is going to be if you want to watch some really good football, I think that game's going to be really good.
Yeah.
The AFC game, I think it's just going to be a lot of defense. I hope the Broncos can stick in there and not totally, get blown out with a backup quarterback. I don't know. Maybe Stidham's going to have one of those games like some of those guys do first time coming in. He's just going to, throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he's just going to completely shock the Patriots.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But, I'm still taking the NFC team with whoever wins that game. So,
yeah, I'm excited to see. Super Bowl's coming up close.
Yeah. And then football's done.
Yeah, college football just had their last game.
Yeah, I guess we didn't even talk about
game.
that. Indiana goes 16-0.
Absolutely.
Really cool for Indiana to get that done. Cignetti is a really good coach. I think he's going to be one of the greats. It just sucks that he's already older at this point.
Yeah.
But I think he's still got a lot of coaching left in him. But, that was really cool to see Indiana get that done.
Miami put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah, hats off to Miami. A lot of, put up 0 points at halftime. A lot of those teams are just going to give up. They're just going to be done. Miami did the opposite. They made that thing a game at the end. And unfortunately, he throws that interception at the end of that game. That was really unfortunate for Miami and their fans. But they were right there. I mean, they gave Indiana everything they had, and not a lot of teams can say that when they played Indiana this year, because Indiana likes to put up style points.
Yeah.
If they get a hold of you, they're going to put up 60 on you, and so I do give credit to Miami for battling through that second half, but I wanted to see Indiana win. I was glad to see Indiana win. First time ever Indiana has won. I think it's always cool when you get a first time ever, and I think Indiana's going to be a problem for years to come. I think
if Cignetti stays there for a significant amount of time, and
they're bringing Josh. They got Josh Hoover from TCU, quarterback. Obviously, he was really good at TCU this year. I think that's why Mendoza, the younger Mendoza brother. So there was 2 quarterbacks at Indiana. They were both brothers.
That's pretty cool.
There was Fernando Mendoza. He was the one that started. He's the Heisman winner. He's going to probably be the number 1 pick in the draft. And then Alberto Mendoza. Mendoza was the backup quarterback. That was his little brother. He decides to transfer out. I think it's because Josh Hoover's coming in.
Probably.
And probably going to take that quarterback spot. Just a really cool ending to a really cool season for Indiana. I'm glad that they got the fairy tale ending that they were hoping for.
First undefeated team since I don't even know when.
Forever, isn't it?
No, because there was.
Yale had Yale did it like
team.
1984 or something.
I think
64?
I think it was like something like the 60s.
18 something.
I think it was like 1860s. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But Indiana, they're the first ones to do it in the modern era, I'd say.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. We witness history. It's so crazy, too, just watching the journey of their season. Going in, I saw a cool post, and it was showing their first game, and, all the fans that were there, it was a dead stadium. There was hardly anybody there. And they showed, later on in the season, that stadium's packed. There's not an empty seat in that stadium. And you take a group of guys who are, decent athletes, and you turn them into just great athletes.
Yeah. It was cool to see Cignetti do that with a bunch of guys who were 3s and 4 stars. Well, not even really 4s, just a lot of 3 stars, a couple 2s probably, really.
Yeah.
And able to, get an army of those guys together and go in and beat, teams like Miami and Ohio State,
and Oregon,
and stuff like that. Oregon twice,
and not just beat them.
They punished Oregon.
Yeah, they put the beat down on Oregon.
Yeah, and that was really cool. Yale was 1894.
1894.
I think I just read that. Yes, 1894.
That's insane.
Yale went undefeated. It was cool.
In modern football, Indiana's
they're the first team for college basketball and college football to have undefeated teams.
And that's a crazy stat as well.
Yeah, their college basketball team did it back when, and now their college football team has done it. So they're the first school to have both sports, men's basketball and college football, go undefeated in a season.
That's really cool. And I don't know if we'll ever see that again.
Yeah.
And here, obviously, there's been a lot of close calls. There's been a lot of, I think there was a couple Alabama
Ohio
teams
State
that
had like one loss last year.
Yeah, there's been a couple Alabama teams that have only had one loss.
Yeah.
It's a really tough call. You don't know, but wow, wouldn't that be insane if he did it back-to-back years?
Yeah, that would be insane.
That'd be crazy. I don't think it'll happen, but
yeah, I'm not sure how many guys they have coming back.
Yeah, I'm not sure
what their thing looks like. I do know they're probably pretty far behind in the transfer portal at this point, just because that's how most teams are.
Yeah,
when you do play in the national championship, but I think they're gonna be just fine. I bet their recruiting and everything was off the wall. I don't think Indiana's going anywhere for a while.
I don't think so either.
I think they're going to start getting some pretty good recruits that want to go play football there. As long as Signetti's there, I think they're going to be relevant. And he wants to stay there. He just signed like a 5-year extension this year, which nowadays doesn't really mean a whole lot. But I think with him and the type of guy he is, I think that.
And he's like an old school guy. So I think when he says he's going to stay somewhere, he's going to stay somewhere.
Yeah, and hopefully he had a couple beers after the game.
Hopefully
he said he was going to go have a beer and.
Guarantee you he did not pay for those beers.
Yeah. Hopefully he had a couple to go undefeated. But,
yeah,
that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks to our sponsors, Just Toast, the toasting experts.
Best toast in the country.
Earl's Doghouse. Thank you to Earl's Doghouse for sponsoring,
beer,
as always.
Good beer, great fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Earl.
Yeah, just watch out for the manager.
Yeah.
He could be kind of strange sometimes.
Yeah, he can. He likes to stare at you a little bit.
Yeah, he'll like smell you and stuff.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy though.
You know, if he doesn't like you, he might bite you.
He might. I've seen him bite another customer in the butt before.
Yeah.
But just don't take that the wrong way.
Well, he was kicking him out though. He was too drunk.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was kicking. And there was an unwelcome guest there too. He chased after him. He chased him down the road. So
yeah, he got after him.
You
don't just waltz up into Earl's place and not know who Earl is.
Yeah, if you don't respect Earl's space, you will be met with force.
Yeah.
And that force will be by Earl.
Yeah, Earl's not scared of him.
But other than that, he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He might come up to you and try to take some of your food every once in a while, but he's overall a good guy.
Yeah. He there's no such thing as personal space with him, but he means well.
No, he likes to sit in your lap sometimes. Sometimes you got to let him. I mean, he's the manager of the place.
He loves to kiss.
He does love to kiss.
Yeah, he'll make out with you.
Yeah. Sometimes he might have a certain odor that comes from him, but that's just his natural funk. You know, you can't blame the guy for that.
Yeah.
And he might take your spot if you get up. Use the bathroom or whatever.
He'll usually move though.
Yeah, he'll usually move for you. He just likes to keep it warm for you.
Yeah.
Make sure no one else takes it.
Make sure nobody's taking your food either.
Exactly. You know. So very nice guy. But shout out to you, Earl. Thank you for the sponsor.
Yeah.
And our last sponsor, Nate and Maddie Can Boxes.
Yeah. Hey, I got a can bag in my can box now. It is in full use. It is a full working can box at this point.
It is after a project that started a while ago.
Yeah. It took a long time.
Yeah.
But it is in full function now. It is being put to use.
It is. It might be a little while till that gets full.
Yeah. But all right. Well, I think that's all we have. Subscribe, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you for listening, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you all next week.